You're listening to the Millennial Minute Podcast, giving this generation what they want to hear.
What's up, guys? This is your boy Rod coming to you with a brand new episode of the Millennial Minute, recording live from the safety of our homes via Zoom. So let's go around and introduce everyone that is safely at home. So all the way in DC, we got our boy Chibs with the UCI banner in the back. Birdman hand repping Cali out there in DC. We got our Cali girl, TikTok, famous. She is too famous for us, but she decided to come back one more week. Shout out to T.
What it do?
What it do, baby? And we got our boy over there living large in AZ. Say what up to Alif.
Howdy, folks.
Doing the Star Trek sign. We appreciate that. Unfortunately, Speakeasy could not be with us today, but we hope to have him on that next episode. So send that love to Speaks. We won't do a roasting session for him today. But other than roasting sessions, we got to get behind that paywall and shout out our sponsors. So once again, Productive Culture. If you're looking for production, mixing, sound design, looking to start your own podcast, Productive Culture is where you need to go. They've hooked us up and they've helped us take our podcast to a whole nother level. And they can do the same for you. If you've been thinking about starting your rap career or a podcast, it's time to start thinking and start doing. You can hit up Productive Culture at productiveculture.com/podcast, and you can find them on Instagram at Productive Culture. So they've done so much for us, giving us the flexibility to record via Zoom from home, in the studio, and even in the studio, making sure that we're all safe and COVID-free, because unfortunately, COVID is a real thing. COVID sucks. And we also got to give another shout out to 3-Bit Games. So for those who are into video games, 3-Bit Games, is a spot that y'all need to hit up ASAP. They buy, sell, and trade all games, gaming consoles, Funko Pops, comics, figures, and trading cards. So it's a one-stop shop for all your gaming and collecting needs. They are open at 1600 East Hole Avenue, Space K24 in Pomona, and you can find them on Instagram at 3-Bit Games. They are a Black-owned business. Black Lives Matter. Elif's eyes are bugging out of the camera while we're saying this because he's ready to hit up 3-Bit Games. So shout out to 3-Bit Games. Thank you for the sponsorship. And go hit them up, guys. Go support them. Give them your business, Black-owned businesses. That's what we're supporting in 2020. That's that good
end. Johnson with the rapid fire. Shout outs to all of our sponsors with one breath.
I know.
Pew, 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 pew. Shout out to our sponsors. So I'll let Chibs introduce the topic for today because we're talking about some dirty details. So Chibs, send us on.
Yeah. So I mean, for this topic, I know all y'all millennials are living in your parents' basements, so it may not relate to all of y'all, but I'll give it a double thumbs up, Yeah. But for the rest of y'all have experience, possibly maybe your freshman year, or just maybe was the first thing gone out of the house, where you just have that roommate that you met for the first time that you just cannot stand. And right now, we'll talk about our experience and things like me and T and Elite. We all have some roommate experiences. But Mr. Johnson out here is still living under the roof of Papa Johnson. So
You never had a roommate.
I hate my roommates. I hate my parents.
Mom, you don't understand.
You don't get it, Mom.
What kind of rent do you pay in here? Say that shit to me.
0 times.
You know your dad will just give you a bill this month.
What bills do you pay?
At some point, I still pay bills. I still pay bills.
What bills do you pay in this house?
Well, trust me, we can go through a list, but we won't do that today.
But also, I guess, Rock, you also feel free to hit us up with some questions that's for an experience you've never had before. So
For sure.
We have a little open forum. So T, set it up.
All right, we're gonna have 1 minute to give our input, our story. I think not our story, right? Right?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
I mean, experience.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, 1 minute. Ready? We'll go with Chibs, Leaf, and then Rod and me. Ready? And go, Chibs.
All right. So for me, I guess best way to deal with some shitty roommates, I guess, the classic, what you call in the movies, duct tape down the middle. That's how you do it.
I've had some fairly good experiences, honestly.
I have had no experiences, but I will say that living with your parents as you get older, I mean, it does get tougher because you butt heads more, but it's all good.
Right, see?
T.
Oh, sorry, my internet's being really weird. Yeah, I mean it's hard. You just try and communicate with them. Sometimes that might not work, but it's all good. You know, you have 10 seconds.
10 seconds. I guess this is this disclaimer. This is the Poor Connection Pod. So let's just gonna have to handle this somehow.
And that's time.
So, will y'all be naming any
Wait,
names
something
on this podcast?
Oh, sorry, someone's echoing.
Yeah, it's you.
But no, we will not be naming names.
Ooh.
Tia, that's your favorite thing to do, just like with the boyfriend scandal, just dropping names, right?
With
No?
the 2 million TikTok viewers.
We keep them anonymous here. Who's gonna go first? How do we want to do this?
Well, I guess I will, start it off. So I do have a shitty roommate experience. And I mean, it doesn't have to just be experience. We can also talk about those like ways onto like how we would try to like deal with problematic roommates, I guess.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I mean for the most part, I've lived with roommates a lot. Pretty much almost every single year in my college experience, I had a roommate. I went to college for 5 years. That's 5 different roommate experiences. For the most part, they've all been chill except for one. And with that one, it was pretty bad. The whole situation was bad actually. It's just because I was trying to like go to school from home, but I didn't want to drive there no more. So last minute, I tried to get an apartment because my car broke down. It was like middle of summer. Like when school starts, that's when all the apartments are open. Once about like a month after, there's no more available stuff. It was a whole last minute situation. So I ended up living in this like apartment with like no one that I know, except for one person. And I thought like, I'm trying to save money. Let me just bunk it with some other person. But man, this guy was bad. Like at first he was kind of cool because he would help with the furniture, but the number one thing was that he smoked inside the house, like cigarettes. Not movie, just like cigarettes. Yeah, that was bad. It was real bad. So, I mean,
damn,
it's one of those things where like, so I told him straight up like, yo, can you not smoke? Because it was getting to my clothes.
No, that's like a health risk type of thing, like secondhand smoke.
Yeah, and you would think, you'd be considerate, like, oh yeah, whatever. But what he said was, "Nah, this is my room too. I can do them all in my room."
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a little bit like inconsiderate because I get it. Like you are paying for your share of like the room or the house or the apartment or whatever, but like there's some things that are just that's not okay. Like it's clearly not okay.
Yeah, I mean that was only one of them. The other thing is that even though he went to campus, as full-time student, he will stay up until 4 or 5 every night blasting music.
But for what? That's so late.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's back, yo.
So he would smoke inside the house too?
Smoke cigarettes inside the house.
Like, didn't you guys' landlord like fucking lock that shit down?
In retrospect,
allowed to smoke in apartments. Unless it says not to, because I've lived in apartments and there wasn't any rules, so like the neighbors smoked and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I was a kid.
I thought it was a house because I know in like houses, if your landlord, most landlords don't like that shit, so they'll like lock that shit down.
Nah, I was just in a regular apartment, and it was not the business. And then like on top of that, this is completely unconfirmed. I never figured out for sure, but But I suspect he was also low key like dealing, which is the reason why he stayed up so late. Again, like I've never saw it myself. I've only like had my instinct, like my gut told me like something was going down. So yeah, so that was a pretty
What do you think he was?
situation.
What do you think he was dealing? Like
I don't
food,
know.
goldfish?
And where could we get some?
I think he was dealing a deck of cards maybe. That must be it.
Damn. So
That was the
so
only bad roommate you've had, though?
Yeah, I mean, 'cause to be honest, I'm a pretty tolerant person. To get me to that point where like man, if I never see that dude again, like it honestly be too soon. Like for real, it's I always kind of feel like you feel kind of bad when like someone like passes away. If I ever heard something in the newspaper that he passed away, I'd be like, and just turn the newspaper, like.
Oh my God.
Like I do not like this person like at all.
oh my God, that's
See his ass
crazy.
in the newspaper. You're like, well. Probably
What a
complains
Tuesday.
about
To the
suspicions.
page.
How the tables turn. So what about you, T? What have you had any bad experiences?
Well, I don't know if you guys, I don't know if I've ever told you, but like my living situation growing up was really crazy because I had a single mom and we had a house in Walnut that was very expensive. So I've had roommates literally my entire life, like from when I was like in middle school all the way up until now. Like I've always lived with different people of literally all ages. I've had like 19-year-old girls with their babies be my roommates up to like 40-year-old men be my roommates. Like,
Wow.
yeah, I've had a lot.
Do you have a roommate right now?
Yes, I do have roommates right now. But
How's that going?
It's going good. But I have like a lot of different experiences with people. And I don't know, I could like literally go on about this shit. Like I've had my mom fight my roommate.
Pick your top one.
Wait, fight?
Your top most.
Okay,
Wait, I want to hear the fight one.
The fight one?
I want to hear the fight one too.
Fight night.
Well, for legal reasons, I won't be saying too many details. But like, yeah, there was this big drama with my mom and like one of the roommates, and it got really bad, and like, it was a hot mess, and yeah, that was like a really bad one, but one that I will talk about because I have no contact with this person anymore.
Okay.
So I had a roommate, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, and we all went out one night because we were all the same age. It was 2 guys, and then it was me and this other girl. And we were all around the same age. We were like young in our 20s. So we went out to drink to get to know each other. Because I worked with the guy, but I didn't know his friend. So I was like, oh, this is a good time for us to, get to know each other and stuff. We go out, and me being the sarcastic little bitch that I can be, was like, the guy said he wanted to do karaoke. So we went to this karaoke place, and he's like, yeah, I want to karaoke, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, oh, like, this is your chance. Go up, sign up to karaoke. He didn't want to. And then I was like, dude, like, come on, you should have. Like, that's so lame, blah, blah, blah. I was just joking, like, clearly joking. And we were all, like, kind of laughing about the fact that he really wanted to go to this place, but then he didn't want to karaoke after he made us go to a karaoke place to karaoke. Like,
weird.
This shit don't make no sense, right? So at the end of the night, we're driving back. Mind you, I had had a couple drinks. The person that drove was, like, the only one that was sober. And he just, like, in the middle of our car ride, we weren't even talking about this. He's like, wow, so Tiani, you kind of seem like a bitch. And I was like,
oh,
like, excuse me, sir? Like, I don't even know you. Yeah. And I was just like, I thought he was joking. And so I went along and I was like, yeah, I'm such a bitch. Like, I thought we were just being sarcastic. Like, we're all drunk, like, yeah, And so I was going along with it. I was like, yeah, like, I'm such a bitch. I'm like the meanest person you'll ever meet. Because clearly, I don't think I'm a bitch. Like, come on.
Yeah, he was right.
No.
Clearly, he was right, 100%.
Yeah, I know. So, he then, like, I realized that he wasn't joking. And he's like, no, I'm being serious. You seem like the most conniving person here. And I was like,
wait, so he doubled down and like,
Yeah, he kept going. And so then I was just like, oh, okay, hold up. This doesn't seem like you're being sarcastic and trying to joke around anymore. And so
Okay.
my roommate, the girl, was like, wait, are you being serious? Because you're kind of coming off rude now.
Mhm.
And thank God she said that. Like, she was standing up for me. And he's like, no, I'm being serious. Like, this whole time at this karaoke place, like, you were forcing me to karaoke. And I was like, what? Like, I'm not forcing you to karaoke. Like, you dragged us to this karaoke place. And so I was like, yeah, you should do it. Yeah, you should do it. Like, I was trying to, like, hype him up, you know?
Yeah,
I
for
wasn't,
sure.
like, being like, don't be a little bitch, go karaoke. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, like, you should do it, you know? And I guess he took it the wrong way. And he went off on me in the car. Like, you are such a bitch. Like, you are so fucking two-faced. Like, you are so corrupt. And like, I can see you talking shit about
Corrupt?
this person in this car. Like, this man would not stop. And I just sat there. Like, when people yell at me, I shut down because like, I don't do well with yelling. I've had a lot of traumatic experiences, yo. So I just shut down, and
Mhm.
my friends noticed, or my roommates noticed, and they were like, you need to calm down. Like, you're way out of line, blah, blah, blah. And we got home and it was so awkward. I just went to my room and I wanted to cry because I was like, what the hell just happened? Like, and I even went up to him and I was like, you know what? I'm so sorry. Like,
Was he drunk or
He
Sounds
intoxicated?
like it.
buzzed. Yeah, we're all a little bit buzzed. I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I never meant to come off that way to you. And like, I'm sorry if you took something the wrong way. Like, that's not me. So I truly do apologize. And like, I take accountability for like what I did, blah, blah, blah. This man was not having it. He just like kept going off. And so his
What?
friend was like, go to the room, like just stop. Like, you're being way out of line. And I went to my room. And then like some hours passed and I could hear my other two roommates talking. And I went out there and they were like, yeah, like, I'm really sorry. I don't know like what his deal was. Like, I don't know what happened. But ever since that night, like after that night, he was so passive aggressive with me. Like, he would just like not reply to my messages when it came to things about the house. And he would just like not talk to me at all. Like, if he was in the kitchen, he'd be like, oh, hey, how's it going? Wouldn't say a thing. And like from that day, like this man just hated me, like just fucking hated me for no reason. And then I remember the day that we were moving out, I had cleaned everything, right? Because you have to clean the apartment when your lease is over. And I went back just to double check to make sure everything was clean. And there was a bunch of trash in his room that was his. And I said, hey, are you going to come back and take your stuff out? I don't know what's trash and what's not. Like, there's a lot of stuff left. And he was like, I think you can figure out how to throw everything away from me. And that was the last I heard from him. And I was so pissed. I literally like came to this apartment. It was really late at night. It took me an hour and a half to throw all of his trash away and all the stuff that was in his room. Like, it was the most like petty. I just, no.
Yo, homie sounds crazy. All of that because you over karaoke?
Yes. Like, I could not understand. And even my other roommates were like, why isn't he mad at us? Like, we were doing the same thing. Like, you weren't the only one that was like, yeah, you should do it. You should do it. Like, homeboy just had it out for me.
Damn.
I don't know
Did you like not
Yeah,
give it up?
I
Did he
don't
try and get at you?
I
Or
don't
what?
know. I kind
No.
of see his point.
I
We kind of see his side on this one.
Yeah, you kind of are, for
It was-
lack of better words,
Yo,
a bit
no.
Oh yeah,
sometimes.
see,
Okay.
I think now I think about it, you are the worst. Like,
Yeah.
You
Now we're
know,
kind of jogging our memories. T
Yeah.
has done a lot of questionable things, so we agree with
yeah,
you.
she
100%.
used to be a bully to me back in high school.
Everyone used to bully you in high school.
so don't even go there.
Who didn't bully a leaf in high school? The teachers bullied a leaf.
oh, don't even, yo.
Let's be real.
But
So-
see, I think I don't know. You need to kind of break that rule. You need to drop some names. I don't know why you keep these
Mhm.
people safe for it. I don't know. To you,
Yes.
I just don't see the point. Like, me giving
I
you
see the point.
what? Like, what's it gonna do?
Vengeance.
Yes. Revenge.
I don't know. Yeah, I've
It make
had
me feel good. I don't know about you.
what?
It make me feel good. I don't know about you.
I've had like pathological liar roommates. Like, I've had just like the craziest people. I don't
So
know.
what about what are some tips to like finding a good roommate? Because a leaf has had
Just
pretty
real quick,
positive
I want to hear a Leaf
experiences.
story. So at least got
Oh
one too.
yeah, I think a good tip is to be a good judge of character.
That's not always true.
What? What do you mean that's not true?
Well, sometimes
lie.
people
People
are
lie real good.
and come off a certain way, and then when you live with them, their true colors come out.
Oh no, I before I do roommates or anything like that, I always figure out like their background and like
don't
what
matter.
they
You
do.
hire a private
That does
investigator.
not matter.
Yeah, it doesn't. Trust me, it doesn't matter. Like, these people can be the cleanest looking people, the nicest looking people, and they just fucking.
I mean, I feel like, but just me personally, I could tell a lot about a person by having a conversation with them and like ask them what they're all about. I mean, it's worked for me. Like I talk.
Okay,
I asked them. I asked them like,
what's your roommate experience then? I mean, do you have any?
How many
yo,
roommates
I've had
have
a
you
room.
had?
I've had a roommate that made me lunch every day. All right. Yeah, my former roommate made me lunch every day for work and all that stuff. Yeah.
Living the life.
I was like, wow, this is dope. Like, thank you.
So it seems like Alif has just been like blessed by the roommate gods,
I know.
and nothing bad has ever happened to him in
But
terms of
again,
having a roommate.
Alif, how many roommates have you had? Like, how many places have you moved to in general?
So far in the past 7 years, maybe like I've had here in Arizona, I've had 3 roommates so far.
I think the more you have, the more you realize people are fucking nuts. Because I mean, I haven't had all bad experiences either, but then I've had.
But then I guess like all my roommates are like working professionals, so like, well, they're most of my all the roommates I've had, they're like in like they've graduated college and they're in their career. I think there's a difference, you know, like
Maybe more mature.
yeah,
Then,
like they're like.
No, I
Like,
do. I mean, I feel like the worst of the roommate problems are like petty shit.
yeah,
Like people who like don't want to move on a stupid thing. You know, like, oh hey, can you clean the spoons?
yeah.
I want
Like
my spoons.
I've
It's
only
like-
had one roommate. I've only had one roommate that was in college, and she was in her master's for nursing program. So yeah, other than that, like I've had fairly good experiences. I'm actually living alone right now, and I actually do want to get roommates because it kind of sucks coming home to an empty place. Yeah.
OnlyFans.com.
What?
You're never lonely on OnlyFans. That should
Oh.
be an ad read.
I know.
Hit us
They're
up.
little,
They got one for the
hey,
ad.
Brazzers Premium, you know, all the things you need.
Yeah, Tiani could do like we'll have Tiani be the spokesperson or something like that. Do the narration. You're never lonely on OnlyFans. You gotta say it sensually too.
Okay, no more free clout. They're gonna steal that from us.
I know,
No more free
right.
clout. Cut it
But
off.
Ron, how about
Yo.
for you? For you, Ron, how's it like being an adult living with your parents?
It is honestly great. No, I'm just playing. I mean, there are pros and cons, just like with anything in life. I think I've actively stayed away from like leaving and finding a roommate because my goal is always to like, buy a house and like do that kind of thing. And then I've been lucky enough to have a girlfriend who will soon be a fiance, and then we'll move in and we'll kind of be roommates.
Whoa, she don't listen to this pod, you know?
Whoa, yeah, does she know about this?
Yeah, and as soon as the leaf jumped back on, she's not a fan anymore, so she doesn't listen. She won't hear this, so it's all good. I'm just kidding, but so that'll be kind of like a roommate in a sense, and we have been like the time that we spend together, I guess, could kind of be like a roommate, not really, because we'll maybe spend 4 days together staying at each other's houses, and like I see her habits, she sees mine. Like one thing, and I'll just throw this out there, I don't think it's like giving too much, but one thing that like drives me crazy and I want to pull my hair out is she leaves like napkins and paper towels and like tissues everywhere. So she'll just like take them with her in case she needs to like blow her nose. And she'll leave my house, and then when I'll get in bed, I'll find like napkins under blankets or like napkins on the floor that like she forgets.
Or
blankets?
like, a little gift for you.
Yeah, or she'll like leave just like like half empty water bottles like across my room.
Oh yeah, that is annoying.
I'm just
You
like,
guys use plastic water bottles?
yeah, we don't care about the earth here.
Wow.
we
do
not care. But yeah, I mean, so just little things like that. So yeah, I mean, the closest experience I've had to that would maybe be like Airbnb-ing it with you guys for like a weekend.
Oh my god,
like Coachella. like Coachella weekend with roommates.
If that was indication of being, imagine being with someone drunk just for 357 days out of the
Yes.
year, all your relationships, all fighting. That's
Look,
would be good.
Yeah, I would my
this is
That's like Coachella weekend right there.
and that was kind of my threshold. If I was like, okay, look, if this was Coachella after 4 days, 4 days, could I imagine like being with a roommate like that long for like years or doing like a 12-month lease? I don't think so. But granted, it was also compatibility. It was also like, people. It was also like alcohol. There was heat. There was a lot of different things
Yeah,
that
there
like
was a
attributed
lot
to
going
that.
on.
It was a crazy
No
weekend.
sleep.
It was a
Yeah, and we went there
no
to
sleep.
Yeah, and y'all went there to turn up. If you're doing this like daily with a roommate, you're not turning up every day.
Of course, but what I'm saying is that you could still see the habits of people. Like I can walk into someone's room and be like, "Wow, this is a mess. I could not live with this person." Like right off the bat, I just
Wow,
couldn't.
you live like this?
Damn,
You
y'all
live
live like this?
Damn, you live like this?
Yeah. So, but I don't want people to be discouraged because I understand everyone's different. I understand that there's some people at 18, they're like, I just need to get out of the house and like I need to do it. For me, I physically and mentally I wasn't mature enough to like really take care of myself at that time. It would have been a mess. I would have like messed up so many things. But now I'm like, okay, I'm at that level. If I were to do this and I'm going to do it right, pay my bills, make sure things are paid on time, like I'm there. Like I feel like I've already reached that point. But for me at 18, like I wouldn't have been ready. I wouldn't have been I probably would have been the terrible roommate, like not doing anything, leaving things messy, So I feel like I spared people by like waiting. So
I think
you're welcome.
it's a good learning experience though, and it's like
For
fun
sure.
to just be on your own and not have your parents there because you can do whatever the hell you want to do, whatever. Like it just doesn't. It's just like really freeing. Why did that feel like it wasn't a word? Yeah, freeing. I don't know.
I feel like
You
it's
just do whatever
I
you
feel
want,
like
huh?
the only thing that's stopping you from having your full experience, I feel like all depends on one, bills. If you have the money, pay all the rent and have more money to like do other things, then yes, then it'd be great. And two is of course roommates, because I feel like with all that freedom, if you have shitty roommates that don't want you up drinking with their friends at 3 a.m., then it's kind of like restrictions here and there.
Surprisingly, like when I moved into the dorms at Cal State Fullerton, I didn't get to choose that was the one time, well, obviously that, and when I was living at home and my mom was picking the roommates, but other than that, like I did not know who these people were going to be. Like it was very just random. And I feel like I got really lucky, but all the other times where I met the people, I felt like, okay, they seem like cool. Sometimes it was good and sometimes it was bad, but I just feel like I got lucky at Cal State Fullerton because I literally did not know what I was walking into,
Yeah, shout out to Cal State Fullerton. It's kind of what they say about arranged marriages. Like arranged marriages have a higher success rate of marriage rather than like people who get married themselves, which is like kind of interesting. But maybe that's what happened at Cal State Fullerton.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Hey Rod,
On the
maybe
podcast?
We need to.
Maybe you should try arranged marriage.
Yeah,
I'll arrange it. I'll arrange it, tell Ron. So there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Chip. That has already been arranged. Excel has already arranged that, so there's no need for any other arrangement.
Statistically speaking, you and Excel won't last long compared to arranged marriage.
Statistically speaking, Latinas
I'm
will
kidding.
not let it fail 10 out of 10 times. Doctors recommend it 10 out of 10 times. But we should arrange something for Alif and for T. So if y'all been looking at Alif and T on video and Alif's eyes bugging out on YouTube and you're interested, or
if you're looking for some more clout by association, y'all need to get with T.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to ruin T's life.
This is the face this is my profile picture on my dating apps.
Yo. So if you guys could change any of those experiences, like let's say if you could erase one to like live back home or to maybe like trade places, would you, or are you just happy that you got that experience? And do you feel like it made you a better roommate to like other people moving forward?
Lol, fam. My roommate was making me lunch.
Well, it's more towards Chibs and T because you had perfect roommate.
Okay, hold on. You know how Alif's like, I've never had a bad roommate. What if Alif was a bad roommate?
That's why.
I highly doubt I don't think I was a bad. I would like
Let's
to
get
think
your
I'm not
roommate
a
on the
bad
pod
roommate.
now.
Wait,
Together now.
hold on. I
Tease
want to
third
say
eye.
that you're not a bad roommate. What the fuck? I mean, I highly doubt that.
Did
I
you
was
ever
a bad
ask?
roommate. Let me finish. Let me finish. I highly doubt that I was a bad roommate because if I was, I don't think my roommates would make me lunch every day.
How do you know it's one of those things where like I've been making this dude lunches every day and you still haven't given me back my $5? You haven't dropped enough hints? How am I dropping enough hints with every lunch? There's a note
Yes.
inside and then they never read.
No, I'd clean and I'd give my roommates money for the because my roommates would make me lunch with their groceries that they bought, and I'd be like, "Yo, like, when we pay you back for all of this, man."
They're gonna listen to this and
up.
send you the invoice. Here's $2,000 for 2 years worth of free lunches. Okay, so at least now we have it confirmed. Alif was the bad roommate. At least now we know. Thank you.
No, I didn't admit it to anything, so fuck off.
So no one room with
Why is
Alif.
he getting so feisty? He literally was calling me a bitch earlier, but he can't handle being called a bad roommate.
Yeah, I know. Wait, was Alif your former roommate that went off on you? Did you force Alif to do karaoke?
Maybe.
And he got upset?
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's because you say shit like that, T. That's why you went off on me.
Ding, ding, ding. Round 1. T and Alif.
Yeah, that's it.
Sexual energy exposed.
No, stop.
Actually, I got one. So like,
Yes.
what's the one thing like your number one pet peeve that has to get done in the house? Like if you're going to happily living with someone, what's the one thing that's gotta get done? Like I don't know, like take out the trash or you can't like leave napkins all over the place. Like what's like the number one pet peeve that like you can't hit?
Mhm.
I
I
also
think
start off with tea.
just clean up after yourself. Like if you leave something out, clean it. If you fill up the trash can and you're the last person to like where it's full, throw it away. Just clean up after yourself. Like you don't have maids here.
All right.
Chips.
I guess for me it's dishes. That's I like. Specifically, I don't like when people use the dishwasher.
Really? Why? Because it's expensive?
That's
No,
grimy.
because a lot of time people think use dishwasher as an excuse to just leave shit there for like a week. You know, they like. Plus, when you hand wash things, it's ready. Like, if I use my plate, I wash it, bam, on the rack for the next person. People go in the dishwasher to like, did you wash it? Like, no, it's not a dishwasher. So I go clean it because I need to make some eggs in my pot. It's dirty. You gonna clean it or not? I'm like, no, it's in the dishwasher.
I mean, like, so, Chips, are you one of those people like my mom who fucking uses a dishwasher as a drying rack?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I am.
only found in minority households, but
Pretty much.
Yeah, you don't use dishwashers in minority households. You wash it with your hands, and that's it.
I used my dishwasher in my house for the first time, and I called up my mom like, "Yo, like this shit is fucking amazing, man. This saved me so much time. Like, how come you never use the dishwasher in the house?"
Yeah,
dishwashers don't even work. Like honestly, like have you ever like made like cake or like some like mac and cheese something like that doing a dishwasher? That stuff is still there.
Yeah.
No, I have a brand new dishwasher, so maybe I don't, maybe that's why. But
you can't believe you can't convince me. That is a non-negotiable for me.
I don't know, man. Like, don't knock it till you try. Again, my dishwasher's like a year old. But I will say this. I feel like, I mean, I'm with you, Chips. I do wash my plates and everything after I use them and all that stuff. But when I have like large events, like a function in my house, or I have a few people over, the dishwasher does come in handy.
I suppose it has its uses, but
like if I have like 10 people over and I have I don't have a lot of time, the dishwasher does help. So
wait,
you lost them. Your boy Johnson, where'd you go?
Nah, fuck that guy.
The show must go on. Alif, it's your turn.
All right. I can't mimic Rod. Oh well, I'll be Rod now. So in regards to
number one pet peeve that you
my pet peeve. Let's see. Just keeping. I mean, I don't like. I'm kind of with you guys. Just keep your shit clean. Like do your part. Do you like it should be like a team effort. That's my thing. Like, you know, take if you see the trash cans full, like take it out. Like not like or I like the house or the apartment should be like a community. We should be helping each other out. That's my thing. If you're not a team player, that's kind of my pet peeve.
I also feel like something we didn't really talk about is like noise level, you know? Like if people are really loud.
Oh yeah, being considerate. Yeah.
I think like past a certain time, especially if people work like really early in the morning, like you shouldn't be loud, you know?
Yeah. Like I guess another pet peeve of mine would be communication. Like, hey, if you have people over, like, I mean, I don't really care if you have people over. Just like it'd be nice to know, so like I can know what I need to do.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
I guess for only, I always have a lot of group chats in a lot of like places that I have, but sometimes that works, sometimes that doesn't. It's a real mixed bag.
It's really like, I don't know. Depends on the person, I think, too, that you're rooming with, like whether they want to be understanding or not, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I have had my own place once, so I have the different experiences. And I will say, studio life is legit. I know at least people say, I mean, it could be just me because I'm like an introvert. So when I got my own place, like yes, amazing, like actually my own spot, my own space, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm also like also very frugal. So if I can say spend 500 instead of 1,500 for the room, you know.
Yeah. Makes a difference. It adds up.
It does.
Yeah. So do you like with your roommates? Did you guys like share utilities and all that stuff equally? Did your roommates pay on time?
Yeah. No. Everyone's cool.
Yeah, I haven't.
What's up?
Oh no, I was just saying I haven't had problems with that, like where someone doesn't pay something on time or like, you know.
That's typically has been an issue, thank God. But I will say I did have this one roommate, although he was my friend, but he like, I don't know. I remember he brought like a cat one day, and like he's super cute cat, but the rest of the roommates just didn't want a cat, and we just kind of brought it home. Like I brought home a cat, guys. And
Yeah,
it's like, oh,
weird to just bring home a cat, not discuss it. Like that's kind of like what?
Yeah.
Hey, but he has a cat to this day. Like when he moved out, he's looking for a place that has a cat. Like I don't know, he fell in love at first sight. But everybody else kind of just like,
That's cute.
yeah, bro. Like maybe you should have talked about it before you picked up a feral cat off the street. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Well, I think that did I go to Rob yet? What's your
I think
number one pet peeve? So like, is it napkins? Napkins your thing?
Wait, Rod's frozen,
Oh snap!
right?
I did give a
Oh, his
disclaimer.
Wi-Fi is off.
Yeah, it's a bad connection pod this time.
Mm. Oh well, I think we pretty much covered everything we could cover, right?
So, real side bar. You guys might think I'm lazy as fuck, but I just Instacart all my food, my groceries right now.
Hey, you lazy piece of shit.
Oh, it's heavy. God damn it. Oh, all this chicken. I have like 20 pounds of chicken. But not
Are you bringing it in right now?
Huh? Yeah.
Are you bringing it in right now?
Yeah, look at the chicken.
We're kind of doing a podcast right now.
Yeah, but then I didn't want the chicken sitting out in the sun.
Okay.
What was I supposed to do? Leave the chicken out in the sun?
Order it so that it doesn't get delivered during the podcast.
I mean, that's the only order.
Oh, I didn't think that far ahead all day.
What?
Why I didn't look at that before?
Well, they only had certain delivery times. You had to pick a delivery time. They only had that delivery time open. So I am sorry.
Well, in any case, anyone have any last thoughts on shitty roommates and what we can do about it?
Do your best to be a good roommate. That's all I got.
Leaf?
Just I think communication.
Right.
Communication.
Rod's gone, so
I will say, just from my personal experience, communication doesn't always work, but unfortunately.
Yeah,
But I agree.
mean,
I will say the number one thing for me is number one thing for me is ground rules. I feel like even with friends, it's always good to make sure that there's a common understanding that you can always point back to. Never assume anything. That's where y'all get fucked up. Whenever y'all assume something's okay, and then it's not, and then someone's stepping on someone's toes, and then that's how this whole ball gets rolling. But when you say just like, yo, don't eat my food because it has my name on it, or let's say like no noise after 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. whatever, I'll make sure there are some lines that are clear, and I feel like that's the best way. I know some people are like, oh, me and my friend just know each other. I'd be like, nah, that shit.
yeah.
I gotta make sure there's a clear understanding. That's how we live a nice, civil, cordial roommate life.
I like it. I'm inspired.
I like it. I like that movie. Yeah, I think.
And with you, Leaf, if I know you go about to like fill your house with random people, so
Huh?
I'm giving you some hot tips right now.
I don't fill my house with random people. But, no, I was going to say, you need to. I feel like it's really good to like vet your roommates. Like, get to before they become your roommates, have a conversation with them. I think like you gotta like ask them specific questions, like what they do and all that stuff, or where they're from.
Tell me your darkest secret.
Like the basic question, like what do you do? Like shit, I even asked like what are your plans? Like what are you trying to do, man? Or dude, what are you trying to do? And like that's how I get to know them. I'm like, oh okay, and I'm like, yeah, I'm down to be roommates with you. So it's worked out.
Last chance, Mr. Johnson.
If you're back.
Here, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, sorry about that, guys.
How dare you?
Yeah. Get the fuck out.
We have like those Google Homes, and one of them got unplugged, so my Wi-Fi sucked. But I mean, I can't give much advice on roommates other than just like do your part, I guess. Like whether it's just like roommates living at home, make sure you're doing your part, and also don't feel rushed if you're like not ready to go out on your own, whether you're doing like a studio or to get roommates, because I feel that could make or break a lot of like opportunities for you, because there are pros to staying at home just like there are pros to being on your own. So it's just like weigh those options, see what works best.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thanks, y'all. Thanks for listening. Hopefully, when y'all looking for roommates, you'll keep these experiences in mind and whatnot. All right.
Don't hit up a leaf.
I mean, I pay my rent, so.
Hopefully, the minimum
Leaf gets so hurt.
I
pay my rent. I do everything I need to do, guys.
Yeah, and I'm barely even at home.
All I do is watch NASCAR show.
NASCAR show.
NASCAR show.
Yeah. Of course, as always, shout out to Productive Culture and hit up our Patreon. Make sure that you sponsor the pod. And pew pew pew. That's it.
Pew pew pew.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Oh, and if you want to donate $25.
No.
I'm not doing that anymore. I'm over it.
No, we're over it. Nobody donated.
He's giving up on going on a date.
Giving up on love. Peace.
Deuce.